5 minutes in, he holds my hand and like goes for it. And I was like, oh, no one's ever held my hand.
Yeah.
And then I hear this, oh! And then I hear this, Bailey, come here. And then I go, oh no.
Oh, no.
And I turn around and I see my brother on the ice, blood rushing down his face. And he's pale. And I just look at him and I go, die. Just die. What does your ADHD brain sound like?
What? What does yours sound like?
Okay. There's a song from 2012 playing at all times, probably.
Okay.
Someone's whispering in the background trying to tell me the things that I need to go do for the podcast, but they're only whispering it.
Mhm.
They're not like telling me to go do the thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that time where that kid told me that I breathe too heavy.
It's me, by the way. I'm the one whispering.
Yep. He's the one whispering. Scully.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching Below Deck and drinking a C4 and inundating my system with caffeine and too much noise.
Just too much.
Just too much all the time. And the only time it's quiet? When I'm high.
Mm.
That's why I'm so happy when I'm high.
Yeah.
It's all the little things, all the little voices. Stop.
I just realized that I probably terrified you all with the deep voice. So.
I liked it.
Just kidding.
Okay, bye. My brain is just like, you got to do this. And you got to do this. Don't forget to do this. But you got to go start this. Oh, no. Go back here. Go.
Reverse.
Yeah. Turn around. No. Sit down. You need to pick out chairs.
Oh, but TikTok. Oh,
Yeah.
but reminders for next week.
Yeah.
Oh, but the dogs need food. Oh, but I need to switch the laundry. Oh, but I'm getting
That's
a
my
phone call.
brain.
Yeah.
I'll do the one where it's like, oh, I'm cleaning this thing. Oh, but I found this while I was cleaning that, and I should really do that first, and then I'll come back to cleaning that
Same.
thing, and I'll finish this task first.
Yeah.
I do get the tasks finished most of the time,
Yeah.
but not in a timely manner.
Hmm.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I feel like maybe
Well,
it's
now
because,
you don't have to.
No, I don't have to.
Right. Well, and I feel like maybe now because like there are other things we need to do with like podcast stuff that I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I have this running to-do list, but I have like household things that like I normally would do.
Yeah.
And then I have like work. So then I'm like trying to juggle it.
What's
and,
priority?
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
reprioritize as I go. And then I'm like, you know what? Or I could just watch TV. Or like,
Or we can watch 5 seasons of Summer House. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That sounds way more
Sounds
fun.
like a good time to me.
I will say watching things while I do house stuff does help
Yeah.
my ADHD. I don't know why.
Same.
Just have it on in the background.
But then sometimes I feel like I miss, like when we've been talking about things, I'm like, wait, what?
Did that happen?
Yeah. So I'm like, I need to sit down and I need to focus on this for now.
And then
But then I get
5
distracted.
hours are lost.
Yeah.
Oopsies. Hi, good
Trouble.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello.
And whatever
Good
time it is
day.
Morning,
that
good
you're coming
evening.
to us, thank you for joining us to Blood and Contracts. We forgot to celebrate episode 10.
How did you guys like episode 10?
How'd you feel
you
about
did.
it?
Because it was a milestone.
Yeah.
I got the girls like little treats to celebrate episode 10. Some Glossier, of course. Although I'm stepping away from
Coasters.
Glossier
Thanks.
Yeah.
over
We can
time.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm distancing myself a little
Mm.
bit. Anyways,
You were like deep in.
I was
You were deep in there for a few years.
And then, but why? I gave them
don't
so
know.
much attention and so much. I was a
I'll
salesperson
send
for
you
them
a YouTube video.
of myself.
No, I watched
No.
this really great. I watch a lot of video essays.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
And this girl did a really great one on Glossier, like a whole deep dive into from
Interesting.
beginning to where they're at now.
I've seen a lot of beginning, but as soon as they
Mhm.
switched CEOs and Emily stepped down and was just a board member, I've kind of distanced myself from the brand
Yeah.
because they also just felt chuggy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It just started to feel like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm a little too old for this now.
Yeah.
We also have a little guest.
We do.
It's
She's so comfy,
Heidi,
though.
baby. Yo. This is Heidi.
She hasn't been here in a while, you guys.
She's an old lady, but she's baby.
Yeah.
That's a
That's just,
look at the big
it's just
belly.
mama's baby, the pink
Oh.
belly.
Look, it's you.
She's the mama. She keeps the boys in check.
Yes, she
My
does.
camera slowed down.
We're just catching up. You're
Yeah.
good. No, it's okay.
Mm.
Yum, yum.
Ow. With the
Oh,
new
so
setup,
cute.
you can't see her anymore, but that's okay.
But we can see her cut out right above you always.
Yep. She's always with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like,
welcome
"Let me
to
go back to
episode 11, not episode 10.
Mm.
But congrats on 11
Yeah.
episodes, you guys.
Halfway through.
How
season
wild.
1.
Yeah, I don't think we've said that out loud, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
Seasons are going to be only 20, not only, that's a lot of episodes. Seasons will be 20 episodes long. We will do interim content for Patreon only for in between seasons.
Yeah.
Which is why you should go to Patreon and submit $5 a month because it's $5 a month.
Yeah.
$5. $5.
foot long.
Any.
Oh, she joined in.
Wow.
We're growing on you.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
She'll join our musical.
Da, da, da. Today we are doing an entree, which means a hearty conversation about something we just want to talk about. And the thing that I proposed for episode 11 was dating history and love lives. And I want to go back in time to when you first experienced dating and the conversation of dating. And then I kind of do want to talk a little bit about our purity culture stories, maybe.
A little bit.
Just a touch.
On a lighter note, after episode 8.
Because mine's a little dark and I'll stay away from the darkness. Yeah. But, thank you for saying the timer.
Gotta make sure we
Reel it in.
can't stay aware.
Yeah, because I don't really know a lot about your childhood, Kelly, and your adolescence. And I would love to know, because I feel like we probably have a lot of similarities. Want to know what those similarities are.
Yeah.
And just get to know each other in this area of our lives. Because I also feel like I haven't been present really in Halsey's life while she started dating. I was already gone.
Yeah.
And then I was a little hoe in Seattle. Oopsies. Oops.
But like a late in life hoe.
Late in life? I was 25.
I know, but
She's ancient.
I just meant like
An old maid at 25.
on average, people have their hoe phase like in college.
Oh, for sure.
And you didn't.
I did not.
You
I
were
was
very focused.
petrified to do anything in
Yeah.
college.
Kelly's
Yeah.
also the only one of us who actually dated as a teenager.
I know, and I want to hear more stories about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that last night during our Patreon episode, you were telling me about your first boyfriend who was in grade school, right? Elementary school?
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a 4th grade boyfriend, but
What?
yeah.
Who?
The neighborhood child across the street.
Oh.
I won't like blast his name on here.
Well, we could bleep it out.
Huh.
But yeah, okay. Huh. I never knew that you defined it as such.
Oh yeah, he's my little 4th grade boyfriend.
Did you kiss?
Not in 4th grade. There's an off podcast story.
Ooh, okay. Save that for later.
Yeah.
When was your first kiss?
6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah.
Who was it?
His name was Tim.
Timmy.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim.
And it was not romantic in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no, why?
It was just because we were pressured into it. Because, like, I had, like, a little group of friends, and, like, this girl and I were best friends, and Tim and his friend were best friends. And we all kind of would, like, date.
Yeah.
And we'd, like, break up, kind of, and then we'd swap.
Ooh.
That feels very, yeah.
And then, so it
Kinky.
was like on a time that I was dating Tim, and these two wanted to kiss, but like we were too nervous. And so it's like, you guys go first. Like, just do it.
Go for it.
So it's like, okay. It was very scary.
Terrifying.
In the hallway by my locker.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
out in the
wow.
pubs?
At school, yeah. At like
Wow.
the end of the school day.
Bold.
Yeah.
At the end of the school.
Yeah.
That's
But-
precious.
That's adorbs.
Yeah.
Halsey, when was your first kiss?
Which one? There's like the childhood first kiss and like
I want to know, like, teenage first kiss, not little kid first kiss.
well like my first like real kiss
Yeah.
was in Germany,
Right.
which you knew that story.
But they don't.
Oh, hi. Duh.
I'm like, I don't know
Hello.
that story.
We're hosting a podcast.
Hi.
Hi.
You know it. Next topic,
So
please.
in high school I took German for freshman and sophomore year to get my language credit. And at the end of sophomore year,
Hold
we
on.
had an opportunity.
Why German?
It was an easy A.
Is it though?
Yeah, English is a Germanic language. German is like supposed to be like for native English speakers, German is supposed to be like the next easiest language to learn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was Spanish for some
Yeah.
reason.
No.
I took Spanish.
There's also a
So
lot
did I.
less like I took German in a public high school in Arizona. Do you really think my education was that great? Like it wasn't
To be
exactly
fair.
the most challenging courses.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so you took German in
I
high
took
school.
German. I also took German because I knew we would get to go to Germany.
Right.
Mhm.
So you had
Because
that,
that
in mind.
teacher always sponsored a trip every other year
That's cool.
for his upperclassmen students to get to go.
How cool.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So we in our city had a sister city in Germany. It's in southern or like southeastern Germany, I think. It's called Memmingen. It's this cute little town south of Munich,
Mhm.
and like very close to Switzerland.
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 Uh-huh.
And I was also 16, which is the legal drinking age.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, you know,
A thing.
a thing. Rock on. And we were playing Spin the Bottle.
Oh.
And his name was Jonas.
Jonas.
And we both had braces.
Did you get caught?
No. But it did kind of hurt.
Did you ever kiss with braces on? Did you get caught?
No.
That was always what I was petrified of, but I never.
I don't think it was a
I
real
think it's
thing.
like a movie thing.
Yes.
Of course, but I
yeah.
didn't experience
could
it or know anyone who experienced it because all of my friends were little, like,
Yeah.
celibate, religious,
Yeah.
crazy people.
Yeah.
So they weren't kissing each other.
Yeah.
We weren't experimenting. So I
The
always wondered.
first girl I ever kissed was in 6th grade.
Oh.
And that was also in a game. It was a game of Truth or Dare. I was at a sleepover, and she's still one of my good friends. And
Who?
Simone.
Oh.
And they were one of my first friends in elementary school.
Uh-huh.
Like we met at Meet the Teacher for 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And it was my first
Cute.
real like public school friend.
Oh.
It was her first friend outside of
Like
church.
church stuff. Yeah.
Because
Fun.
everything before that was homeschool and church.
Yeah. And we were really good friends all throughout elementary school and
Yeah.
middle school and stuff, and then stayed, you know, like distantly friends through high school, and then
Yeah.
kind of reconnected after because she went down to this whole thing. Anyways, but yeah, we kissed in a game of Truth or Dare, and now we are both queer, and
Yeah.
and we both were like, so for you, was that also a moment of like, oh no.
What have I done?
Oh no, I will let future me deal with this later.
I have questions now.
Mhm.
Was she the first girl that you were like, I want to kiss her? Do you know what I mean? Like, was that the first moment that you were like, I think I do kind of want to kiss a girl?
Yeah, we were in 6th grade, so it was like, that start of like more like crushes happening, and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and more like things are being realized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I was 11, and yeah, I remember like being like, "Oh no, I don't want to kiss her,"
But I
we did.
Bury it, bury it,
Bury it,
Yeah.
bury it. Especially because like her home was always a very safe place for me as a kid.
Oh, I love that.
Especially her dad and her parents in general were always very like felt like very safe adults.
Were they religious?
No,
I love that.
yeah, they were pretty like agnostic, I think, for the most part. I don't know. I would have to actually like ask her, but yeah, like her dad was always like very safe, and yeah,
Love that.
yeah, I've always felt
Warm.
at their house.
Yeah.
Those are great houses.
Mm-hmm.
My first kiss was with a boy. I was 21. Yeah.
You hadn't had any little like pecks before then?
No, you guys.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
21.
Wow.
Yep. It was a good kiss.
Yeah.
And it was at your friend's 21st birthday?
Yep. In Flagstaff. And he was
At
my
NAU.
he was my brother's best friend.
Whoops.
And he was on the varsity football team.
Oh.
And he was 2 years younger than me. Oopsie. Oops. We made out for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then he made out with 2 other girls.
Oh.
Yeah. It was fun.
Nice.
We weren't dating.
Yeah.
And we were intoxicated.
Yeah.
He also lived with our family for like a
Yeah, he
second.
did live with our family for a second. I
During his senior year.
blacked that out.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I went on maybe 1 to 2 dates when I was still living in Phoenix. I never wanted to date, but Tinder was brand new right before I left Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I was at 24.
Yeah.
And everyone that was on it was like hookup culture back then,
Mhm.
especially in a city like Phoenix.
Yeah.
No one was getting on Tinder in those days to find a wifey. Except
Around the
for-
same time.
except
Cute
for
Bailey,
Kelly.
cute Kelly and Jansen meeting on Tinder and in that same time period.
Did you go into it wanting to find a boyfriend? Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I went into it I go to a Christian college, so I'm not
Yeah.
interested in, well, like I had a group of guy friends that I was like, I could be interested in you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in you. You don't feel the same way? Cool.
Okay.
We're friends. And I was like, I just want to have fun
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
find someone to like,
And also, I didn't go to elementary school with any of these people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's a big draw.
yeah,
So
strangers.
I was in that time wanting to find my husband.
Yeah.
And I was petrified of just dating in Phoenix because too many people knew us.
Yeah.
And too many people, like, I just grew up here. So
Yeah.
everybody knows everybody. It made me
Mhm.
uncomfortable. And I never wanted to get stuck here. That was what I was petrified of.
Mm.
Phoenix is a big city and a small town.
Yeah.
Very small, too small. So yeah, my
Right.
first kiss wasn't until 21.
Wow.
How did your parents handle the first purity conversation? Because I had a purity weekend. Did you have a purity weekend? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had the whole booklet.
Okay, so you did Passport
I did
to
Passport
Purity.
to Purity. My mom took me on a weekend. We listened to the tapes.
Yep.
And with that, I also got to pick an outing. To
Oh,
do.
an activity.
An activity.
Yeah, so did I.
Is that part of the
Yeah,
weekend?
that's part of it.
They
yeah.
bake it into the curriculum.
I went
Mhm.
horseback riding.
Oh.
That's fun.
I know.
I went to a purity culture conference
Oh.
with my friends and their moms.
Oh, no, it was
And-
just me and my mom.
Point of Grace performed.
Oh. How fun.
She at least got to see Quinn of Grace.
Yeah.
We were on like the front row too. I was not having it. And it was after we've had all these intimate conversations with just me and my mom in a hotel room about
Yep.
sex.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm like abused in the back of my mind, having
Yeah.
that in the back of my head, being like, I already know all these things, but okay, that's another subject
Yeah.
for another time, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah. And honestly, I think I've blacked out. I don't really remember any of the conversations
Yeah.
that weekend. I just remember
the
I got
tape
to
audio.
go horseback riding.
Hilarious.
But I mean, it was very ingrained that it's for marriage.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
Don't ruin the present.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
the
did you get the
gift.
dollar bill analogy or the gift wrap analogy?
Or the rose?
Or the rose?
I feel like I don't remember, but I'm feeling like I'm drawn towards the gift wrap.
Yes.
The gift was
we
part
actually
of,
had to wrap a present
and then rip
in
pieces.
a girls group at church.
I might have had to do something similar. Like,
Oh, no, we didn't rip it. We had to wrap the gift, and then you held on to it.
Oh.
keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
We had to use ours like
Like a full metaphor.
full metaphor. Like
Yeah.
beat it,
Oh,
kick it, rub some dirt in it.
how horrible.
And that
Stomp on it.
was how sex was handled at church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you also have to sign the contract at the end of it too? Isn't
Yeah.
that so strange? Okay, so for people who don't know, because I do feel like we have non-Christians that listen to this, a pretty popular early aughts thing was to have your daughters and sons, I think. They had their own version.
Our brother did also get taken on a purity weekend.
Yeah.
I'm actually the only kid who
That
got out of it.
didn't.
Man.
But please keep in mind, Miss Nunn over here chose that choice for herself because she was gay.
I was married to Jesus. Sorry. We can't sleep together.
So sorry.
Sorry.
So there was a curriculum called Passport to Purity that was extremely popular in the churches that we frequented.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
I
Yeah.
can even still see the front of
Yep.
the...
It's like that.
I remember
trumpet
exactly what it looks
or-
like.
Mine was
the eye
like
thing.
like the telescope that you look
Yes.
through.
Yes. And it's like blue and yellow
Yep.
fonts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's this pamphlet that you fill out with your parent over the course of a weekend that you
With
learn
cassette tapes.
with a cassette tape or CD-ROM.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find it on Audible these days. Would not recommend though.
Yeah. Don't waste
Don't
the time.
Maybe
waste
for
money.
a fun read.
Yeah, to make fun of it, absolutely. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's something on YouTube. But it would be this course that you would take with your parent to learn about the birds and the bees and the Bible's version of birds and bees
Yeah.
and what sex meant in the eyes of the Lord.
AKA the Adams and the Eves.
Yeah. Birds and the bees and the leaves.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, you contractually were obligated. Yes, I'm not effing with you. You had to sign something with your parents that said you were not going to have sex until after you were married. And then you get to wear a purity ring.
Yeah. I got to pick my ring out
Ooh.
too. And I knew my purity weekend was coming and we were like on a family vacation and I saw the ring that I wanted
Ooh.
and I bought it and I wasn't allowed to wear it until then.
No.
But whoever,
Sacred.
someone, maybe my mom was like wearing it so she wouldn't lose it. I don't know. But they like bent it like it.
No.
So we had to like recurve the.
That's so sad.
My purity ring was
damaged.
damaged.
It's cursed from the start.
Yeah. Oopsies. What do you expect? I'm sorry.
I got myself a purity ring.
Cute.
My purity ring is actually like a family heirloom, which I
Yeah.
was grateful for.
Oh,
My
yeah.
grandma made it for my mom for her 16th birthday. So it's a custom ring that
Yeah.
no one else has that design. It's very 80s, but I
Oh.
love it. And it has 2 little tiny rubies and 2 little tiny diamonds that all have fallen out at some point. I've
Yeah.
replaced them and now I need to replace them again. They're too tiny. It's a very delicate ring, but I love
Yeah.
it. And that was my purity ring for a while. I had a couple.
How fun.
Yeah.
I do
I only
have a
had
few.
one. After I lost it, I was like, oops, it's fine.
Mm.
I know. He knows.
I also grew up very much in the age of the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
Who had
Oh,
made
yeah.
purity rings cool.
So cool.
Yeah. And if they were doing it, I was doing
I
it.
remember being disappointed
Or not.
when the Jonas Brothers stopped wearing it.
Stop it. No,
no.
you did not.
I remember it being like
They're
a thing that like the
corrupt.
moms talked about.
Shut up.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What do you mean the moms?
Like in church, like that it was like a discussion
Oh my gosh, really?
about, yeah. Oh, of course.
Man, I don't remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I avoided the Passport to Purity weekend.
yes.
I wanted it, like, but it
But-
was more out of a, like, well, my siblings got one and I didn't get a purity weekend.
I think maybe similarly for me, I was like, I you guys got to do this. I want to go on my solo vacation with mom.
I think I probably, also saw it more as that.
But we'll listen to these.
Yeah.
But
So I was never actually subjected to the tapes.
Tapes. You did not miss much. I'm pretty sure I still have it though, which is hilarious.
I not recently, like maybe a year or two ago, got a load of childhood things brought to me.
Yeah.
My Passport to Purity book was in that. I was like,
we can give that away to the trash gods.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need this.
I think I just hold on to paper goods stuff like that because you just never know. Like we were looking through my album this morning and I've got VBS awards in there for being a good kid and learning all my Bible verses.
There you go.
There was one about her being obedient the whole weekend.
Wow.
Checks, because I was petrified of getting in trouble at all times.
What happened? No,
No idea. No idea. Okay, when you did your Passport to Purities or whatever version of it, what did dating look like after that? Because for me, I wasn't allowed to date until after I was 16. And then I did not want to date after I was 16. So I never saw it as this moment of like, okay, I'm of age. The floodgates are open. Let us go a-courting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember how old I was when I did the Purity weekend, but I was, probably 12, 13.
I was trying to think about this too. I think I was 13. I had just turned 13.
Like around 8th grade, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. But like I had like boyfriends in like elementary school, middle school.
Yeah.
First kiss, middle school. But
just little kid stuff.
Yeah. And like, how much of like I can't drive. So I'm like,
what are you going to do?
Can you take me to the movie theater, please?
So cute.
Like, but my sisters dated a lot more than I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I remember more so for my sisters because it was if someone was interested in you, they had to meet our parents.
Yep.
So my dad would like meet the boy and like
Suss him
interrogate
out.
him a little bit. Yeah, like what are your intentions with my daughter? These are our expectations. Like you will not be in a room with a closed door. You will not stay out past this time.
Next time.
Like all of the rules of dating. And
So funny.
yeah. So I remember like that happening a lot with my sisters because my dad would try to be funny with it too, of like scaring them.
Like Charlie in Twilight status?
Kind of, yeah. No gun, but
Oh, okay. Never know.
But like there was one time, I don't know what my dad was doing, but he had like an ink pad.
Yeah.
Because he was like addressing envelopes or something. I don't know what he was doing. So he had the ink and so the boyfriend, soon to be boyfriend, walks in for my older sister and he's like, okay, so first I'm just going to need your fingerprints.
Amazing.
See, that's good.
Okay.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. But I only ever had one boyfriend, like one serious boyfriend in high school that had the talk with my dad.
Wow.
So
I got asked to a military ball my
remember that.
sophomore year of high school, I think.
Yeah.
Sophomore or freshman. And the boy needed to ask my dad. So my father put his shotgun into his truck and drove to the high school so that he could see the shotgun in the seat as he was getting out of the truck to go have a conversation about his daughter being taken to a military ball. Do you want to know what happens at a military ball?
A bunch of speeches.
It's a seated, plated dinner full of a room of high school and college students.
really,
And their officers. Because it's
all the ROTC kids.
the military. You have to dress up in only black, white, or blue. And it's like a gala of high school students. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
no dancing, no.
We didn't dance. I don't even remember people dancing. The dinner was okay. The really stark memory that I have is standing outside waiting for my father to come pick us up. And I wore this really pretty black dress with like a pink gauze shawl. And we were in downtown Glendale at this state building down there. And they have these really pretty lampposts outlined
It's
around.
Old Glendale's very pretty.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
And I remember us talking, and it was the first time all night that I felt like he was being normal and that I could be normal.
Mhm.
And we were just chit-chatting and talking, and I was spinning slowly around the lamppost, like with one hand,
Yeah.
like singing in the rain.
Yeah.
Just like slowly as we were talking, like being a goofy girl.
Yeah.
Theater kid.
Yeah, theater kid. And it was all dark outside, and it was just the lamplight.
Oh.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Adorbs.
And then my father picked us up, and we went home.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
then I wore that dress to a lot of events.
The hand-me-down culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, so that was my first like date experience.
Yeah.
I wasn't really looking forward to doing that again and having the whole gun situation be repeated. So
Yeah.
we moved
I also
on.
just think about like if I had a son and I found out that he like even jokingly was threatened with a gun,
Oh my gosh.
I would lose my mind.
But back then,
Yeah, there's a whole country song about it.
Yeah.
Multiple.
a whole culture.
Albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, yeah, that was normal, especially in Arizona.
Yeah.
We are a gun town state, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What was your first date?
I mean, I had a date. Well, okay. Freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I went to homecoming.
Yeah.
And technically had a date, but he didn't actually ask me to be his date until we were already at the dance.
Oh. I mean, it still counts.
And then I got in trouble when I got home.
Because you said yes?
And because he hadn't asked our parents for permission. Because that was the rule, right? Like we weren't allowed to date unless they had asked our dad for permission.
Because we can't make a decision for ourselves.
Right.
Because we are women.
Yeah.
And, we don't we don't have brains.
Yeah.
Just
Empty space.
empty.
And also, like,
space.
okay, you have to think about it this way. Like, I was 14 and had just watched my brother, who graduated the year before, date whoever he wanted for 4 years.
Ever he wanted. I remember at one point when I was in college being like, one, I don't think we're from the same family because how are you getting
He got the Riz.
so many girls? And then
Not
two,
so many.
not so many, a healthy amount.
Yeah.
And then two, looking at my parents being like, hello?
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Like,
Yeah.
why is this so starkly different?
Yeah.
And that's when I was watching her start to ask questions and
Yeah.
poke at things. And then I was
And
like,
that
wait,
was-
I'm going to poke at stuff too.
That one before the gay stuff was the biggest, one of
Yeah.
the biggest ones that I started poking at was the BS double standard of how we were treated
Yeah.
and how Jansen was treated when it came to certain things like dating.
Yeah.
Where it was like, why is there this double standard of like, we have to have permission asked and all these things,
Mhm.
but he like,
Or shame if we do the thing, if we go
Yeah.
against their standard or
Yeah.
what they want. I remember watching one of our close friends grow up who has a ton of brothers, and they're all younger than her, and they were and always have been allowed to kind of just date and do whatever, but she was just put into this courtship mindset that you cannot be a decision maker in the people that you spend time with.
Yeah.
It has to be a group decision, but then watch all of her younger brothers get to do whatever they want. It was
Yeah.
so strange.
and be encouraged to do whatever they want.
Yeah, like there was no shame. It was fully accepted and almost like encouraged. Like slap on the back, like, yeah, bud, you got the Riz. I hate that word, by the way.
Sorry, I brought it up.
No, you're fine.
My first date was probably like 19.
Yeah.
Because I started like tendering right out of high school. Like
Hindering.
like I might not have even been 18 yet because I didn't turn 18 until like 2 months after I graduated high school.
That is wild to me that you started your dating life with Tinder.
Yeah.
See, that's so weird to me
Yeah.
to not have any dating history without the internet. I'm kind of glad that I do have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
people like I met in college that we went on dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a different time.
Very.
I had many friends in high school who people thought I was dating. We were not.
Oh.
I wanted us to
Oh.
be. We weren't.
Aw. I was there too.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I can't even think what my first date.
I have a first date story. Jansen's involved.
Like, I've had a lot of first dates, but I can't think of like the first.
Yeah. The one that started it all.
Yeah.
My
don't
first
know.
date involved church, a football player, and blood.
Oh, I know the story.
I think maybe I do too.
You
but
do, yeah. Tell it for the class.
Tell for the class.
Yeah.
His
What
name was
happened?
Ben. I had a lot of crushes on Ben's.
Ben, it's a good name.
It's a good name, but they were all douchebags. Every single one.
Oh, man.
You know who you are. He was a senior. I was a sophomore. I had the biggest crush on him, and he was a varsity football player. And he was so tall. He was so handsome, and like tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah.
He and I were just always friends, and we were in like the same little circle, but I asked him out. Oh, our cameras are freaking out. I asked him out because there was a skate night, ice skating night.
Mm-hmm.
This is a key to the story.
Yeah.
Ice skates.
Yeah.
For our church, like high school group ministries.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, that's a pretty safe place to like ask somebody out.
It's like
and
a group date.
I honestly thought he was going to say no because he was so much older than me and like everyone was obsessed with him. We went on this, what was the camp, the Unity camp thing? What was it called? Scully, if you remember.
Unitown.
Unitown. Wow, how did you know that?
Because she wears the shirt.
Shut up.
I do?
I've seen you in it before.
Oh, my Greenway.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
He and I were counselors at it one year. We went as campers the other. So we were always like emotionally close.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt like I had a one-up on all the other girls. And then he said yes. And I was shocked that he wanted to go with me. And it was a full date. Like he came to the house. He met mom and dad. He drove us in his cool truck. And Jansen had to come because for me to be allowed to go on this date, my brother had to be with us.
Your younger brother.
My younger brother had to be with us.
Who was in 8th grade.
And chaperone. Yeah, he wasn't even in high school yet, but he got to come to the high school event. We are not 10 minutes into this date. 10 whole minutes. I finally had my skates on. We were all on the ice. The music was going.
But also, you and skates on ice.
The fact that I was on skates on ice and doing fine, 5 minutes in, he holds my hand and like goes for it. And I was like, oh, no one's ever held my hand.
Yeah.
And then I hear this, oh! And then I hear this, Bailey, come here. And then I go, oh no.
Oh, no.
And I turn around and I see my brother on the ice, blood rushing down his face. And he's pale. And I just look at him and I go, die. Just die. And I felt Ben like pull his fingers out of my hand. And then he skated over to Jansen to go help him, to like check on him. I'm like, well, that's really nice. He was fine. He got like a cut from someone else's skate. Like he like ran into somebody's
he
skate.
fell face first into the ice.
Who cares? He was fine. He didn't even
He had braces on too. And
Yeah,
like
and
he was fine.
Obliterated the inside of his lip.
But he didn't even go to the hospital.
and will not ice skate to this day.
Nope.
Oh, maybe we can
I want
work
to go
on that.
ice skating so bad. Last Christmas, wintertime,
gave
he
you my
finally
heart.
said, I'll go ice skating with
Really?
you. But we never did.
Oh,
Oh, rude.
So
we'll just surprise
we're
him.
working our way to it.
Well, we can take.
We
I
can
wanna
also
go
just
ice
go ice
skating.
skating.
Yeah, we
the three of us for Patreon.
Who needs them?
We'll go to Polar Ice. Actually, I think that place is finally closed.
Did you see that Great Skate is still open?
Yeah.
Is that
Of course it
roller
is.
skating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's the
place
one we
is-
grew up going to.
Oh.
It's been around for a very long time.
And it doesn't look like it's been touched since
No.
1995.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yipes.
I still can't think of my first date.
You're fine.
It was probably like a coffee date. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it was in.
Nope.
Oh,
I
she had
just remember.
she just had a That's So Raven moment.
like a war flashback.
Oh, no.
So I was 18. He was 28. It gets worse.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was in college young life. And I had gone to a winter retreat and this is the only event I ever went to for this because of what happened afterwards. I didn't know he was 28 because he wouldn't tell me his age.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flags. I would come to find out, 1, that he was 28 years old. 2, that he didn't go to my college.
No.
That he just, again, closeted and sad and just trying to be loved. He didn't go to my school, was 28 years old, only was on campus all of the time. I would see him all the time because his buddies went to school there.
I was gonna say, is he a serial killer?
Yeah.
He did proceed to lightly stalk me for like 6 months, to the point where I literally had to ask that he be banned from that Young Life group.
Oh yeah.
No.
I'm glad they actually protected you.
I was not the first one to ask.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do for your first date?
I think we just went to coffee.
Oh.
I just like I
You
just,
couldn't remember
or
who
we
it
like
was.
or we got lunch on campus.
Mm.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Yikes.
He like proceeded to like call me on Christmas.
No.
Uh-huh. And of course I was like terrified, so I didn't tell my parents or like anybody what was going on.
Crazy.
Yeah. I probably should have been murdered like a few times, and I
Same.
haven't been.
There are
Yeah.
several dates in Seattle that I probably shouldn't have lived through, and I definitely thankfully did, but dumb dating.
Yeah.
Dumb, sad Bailey dating.
Yeah.
How young were you? Can you remember when you went and did your first chat room?
Too young.
Too young.
I don't know the age that I was, but it was early, probably single digits, maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Single
I
digits?
think I may have been
Not
8
early single digits. I'm sorry. Like late single digits.
Okay.
I think I may have been like 8
I
or
was
9.
4. No.
8 or 9?
I was
Yeah.
probably close to the same age.
I had way too much access to the internet.
Totally.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
And we had like a family computer, but our
Yes.
family computer was in the basement. And like
Ours was in the living room, but it was in like the second living room.
Mm.
And it was in like a corner.
Our first computer was in the sun room /
Yes.
classroom.
The Arizona room.
The Arizona room, yellow room, my favorite room.
Mhm.
And I helped my parents put the internet on for the first time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We at least never had dial-up.
Yes, we did, baby.
We did?
Oh, honey.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, you were a newborn.
Mm,
When we
okay.
were in the Tucky house,
Yeah.
you were 2, 3, 4, 5. You know?
I
You
mean,
were
we lived there
very-
until I was in 4th grade.
Yeah, but you were very little when the internet
Yes.
came about.
yeah.
We had this really big desktop white computer, the big like
Yeah.
bubble screen,
Yeah.
and my parents couldn't figure out the AOL ROM, so I
that
picked
you
it.
had to like download it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it out of the mail, and I was like, "What? This looks cool!" Because it was like all designed on the front of it too.
Mhm.
It was like blue and yellow,
Yeah.
and my dad couldn't figure it out. And I was like, "I got this." I just like did it, and yeah, I didn't have access to the internet though. I wasn't really interested in it until probably high school is when I first really started spending more time with the computer. And I think I got a laptop my senior year, something like that. So you had
I had a lot of access. I had a lot of alone time.
a lot of alone time.
Yeah.
I did not have that.
I talked to many people I shouldn't have.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me
Same.
wrong. Once I hit high school, I talked to many people I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's so crazy that
Yeah.
you guys were so young.
And then I had like Kick.
I-
fully just being groomed on Kick.
Oh, I
Mhm.
never had Kick.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I remember like setting up my AOL.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I loved instant messaging.
Yes.
And you could find all those random chat rooms with like
rooms,
a bunch of
yeah.
people, and then you would kind of split off and like
Do
talk to
your
other
DMs.
people on the side.
Well, and then you thought you were like the Pen 15 did this episode. So like if you
Yes.
haven't watched Pen 15 on Hulu,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, how
it's
have
all
you
about
not?
growing up in the early aughts and being a early, like late preteen, early teenager in the early aughts, and like how it's just this really great like depiction of growing up in that the era that we did. And they do this perfect episode of what it was like being in those chat rooms, being on AIM with dial-up, like all of those things. And like she's yelling at her brother to get off the phone because she's in the middle of chatting with this guy who's very obviously catfishing her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
man.
love that show
I
so
did my
much.
fair share of catfishing. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah.
On
Same.
MySpace. What's up?
Wait, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I was British.
I think I've definitely lied on a chat room like
Yeah.
that, but I didn't excessively lie.
Yeah.
I was just so interested in meeting people. I
was British blood and 16.
Oh, I don't really remember. I didn't
Who
like
you
have a
pretended to be.
persona. I just
Yeah.
like lied about my age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where I lived.
ASL.
Yeah.
Did you ever do eHarmony?
No.
See, that was my online dating.
Mm.
I almost met someone in Texas like when I
remember
was
that.
20.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I was matched with from a familial relation to a guy in Montana for a long time who wanted a wife on a farm situation, almost got hitched to that guy.
Yeah.
I met someone on a chat room when Jansen was playing Xbox.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was much older. And I was probably 19. And somehow exchanged phone numbers and started talking. And I would go.
Oh no.
I just remember. Did we talk about this on an episode?
No.
Okay.
I've never talked about this. I don't think I've ever told you this story. If I did, that'd be wild.
Okay.
We would have phone calls. He was in the military and we would talk constantly. But I was petrified of my parents hearing me talk to a man because he was a man. He was probably 25, 26, if not older. And I would go to the Blockbuster.
One by the high school. Yeah.
The one by my high school.
Oh no.
In my 1996 Nissan Sentra. And I'd crank the windows down with my little flip phone and I would talk to him for like an hour each night for like 3 solid weeks. Just talking to him. Then I got a phone call from his wife.
Yeah. See, I knew this part.
Okay, because I think I confessed it to you at some point because I felt
Recently.
So, yeah, probably when I was high.
Okay.
Married. Hi, why are you talking to my husband?
No.
I was
Every
like,
night for hours.
I was like,
yeah.
and why are you texting him? And I was like, I was 18. I said, I'm 18, ma'am, I'm
Yes,
18.
ma'am.
I didn't know. She's like, he has children. I was like, ma'am, I didn't know I'm 18. I'm a virgin. She's like, oh, honey, go
You
have a
told her?
good night.
That's what you said to her?
Yeah.
I did. I was so petrified. I was like in my room trying to write a paper, blood rushing down to my toes.
Freshman
Yeah.
college.
You're like, I
Yes,
promise.
I promise. Like, lady, I'm not doing it. I'm no threat.
Yeah.
I probably don't even live wherever you live. I don't even know where you live.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fine. Just don't call here again. I'm like, you got it.
But also, girl,
Girl,
have some self-respect.
get your man.
Maybe leave that man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leave that. Who
Oh,
knows where
man.
that is? But yeah, I dated a random guy from Corpus Christi from eHarmony for a while.
Did you ever meet him in person?
Nope. We were supposed to, and he can't. Like, it was that.
Yeah, he canceled.
He
I remember
canceled.
that, yeah.
It was I always was trying to date someone out of Arizona so that
Mhm.
I could go get out of there.
Arizona.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be my ticket out was marriage, which is so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Like you couldn't just do that on your own.
right. And it
Which
took
you did.
until 24 to actually go out on
Yeah.
my own. I did
Yeah,
it eventually.
You did it.
Yeah, the chat room scene is very interesting.
Yeah.
I have few solid memories of that time.
Spent a lot of time in some weird Facebook games.
Facebook games?
Not me.
Nope. Okay, just wait. Never mind. Not gonna talk. It was the era of Farmville.
Oh,
I did love Farmville, but I didn't talk to strangers on Farmville.
No, it was like it was like the life simulator game that they had on Facebook.
I don't think I played that one.
I don't remember what it was called.
I did not have time for these things.
Yeah.
No.
That's how I found out about a lot of things.
Oh.
A lot
How
of
did
acronyms.
How did you find out about, like, how did you educate yourself on sex? Because obviously our parents did not give us enough information. So, like, what age were you when you were like, I need to actually find out this information? And
6th grade,
yeah.
maybe even a little earlier, because too much time on the internet. But it was watching Degrassi.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of education from watching Degrassi at my friend Dacia's house.
Thanks, Dacia.
Thanks, Dacia. What about you?
I don't know. I think when I moved, because we moved when I went into middle school,
Yeah.
and I think the group of friends that I kind of started hanging out with were more promiscuous.
Ooh.
More mature.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like I remember them like bringing up things about sex and stuff, and I was like, like just nodding along. I know what a blowjob is. Like,
Oh,
that was always the
same.
one. It was that and hand jobs.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, really? Uh-huh. Like,
I would never.
yeah. But I also
I've done 13.
I'm a pro.
yeah. Need me to teach you something? No. But I also like remember because I hung out with like a lot of camp staff.
Yeah.
And they were all older than me because you had to be 16 or older to work at camp, and I was not of that age. So I grew up a lot faster because like they would have like conversations and like
Around
talk about
you.
things.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why one specifically like stands out in my head, and I don't remember how old I was. Probably 13, 14, but they were talking and the girl was like, yeah, he had a condom. And I was like, what's that? and their answer to me was like mustard, like condiments.
Shut up.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, because you're also like
Makes
the camp
sense.
kid.
Yeah.
They
so they're
can't
like
be the ones to
pastor's
educate
kid.
yeah,
you.
they're like, you can't hear that we're having this conversation right now. I'm like, I've been sitting here this whole time.
Yeah. That's how I learned a lot of things too. Was I would just be places
Yeah,
and people
for sure.
would talk.
Yeah. And so I was like,
That's how I learned
okay.
a lot of things in high school.
And then I finally had a phone with like internet, and I was like, let me Google whatever the hell you're talking about. Cause
Yeah.
When you were going through purity conversations, do you remember having distinct conversations about pornography and what was allowed in your head and what was not allowed in your brain? Do you know what I'm talking about?
All of the Taylor Tomlinson bit.
The Taylor Tomlinson bit? Which one?
Where she said that she didn't know how to hang out with herself correctly.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I relate to that.
Yeah.
And no, it was not talked about.
Discussed.
No.
See, for me, everything was a no-go zone. Like, you were not allowed to have fantasies or the M word. I don't want to say it because I don't want us to get dinged.
I know.
Yeah.
Schmasturbation. There you go.
Yeah.
That was say it the way I said it, which was hang out with yourself.
True. Hang
Yeah.
out with yourself.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to do that. All of that was a sin. So did you ever have that moment growing up of like, I am so sinful and this is the thing that it makes me sinful?
Yeah. And I don't think I've told anybody this before, but like I was trying to figure out my body a little bit as
Yeah.
like a younger person.
Yes.
And I think my mom maybe found out or like knew or
Yeah.
something. And it was like,
Shame.
don't do that.
Oh,
And I was like,
okay.
okay. But like,
But also,
it
why
felt
not?
good.
Yeah.
So like,
But also, why not?
yeah. So like, it took me a long time to like kind of figure out.
Uh-huh.
Were you made to feel like you were too young to be doing those things?
Mm. And maybe I maybe was, I don't know. But like,
What's
there's
too
no
young?
too young.
There
But
is no
yeah,
too
To
young.
learn what your body does.
yeah.
There are age appropriate discoveries. Yes, 100%.
Sure.
But,
Or
like-
age appropriate educational times?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like I have friends who are becoming parents, all these things, and they're all having these conversations with their spouses, going like, when it comes time, what are these conversations going to look like in our family? And they've all like across the board, all of them are like, well, it's not going to be what we grew up with, which was don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be more looking like your body is your own.
Yeah.
As long as you are not hurting yourself
Or others.
And you're not doing it in public or committing a crime.
Yeah.
And
Figure it
everyone's
out.
consenting.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just treated, it's honestly still treated as a taboo subject.
Yeah. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Especially
don't
for
do
girls.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even my mom listens to the podcast.
Okay.
Before she started dating her boyfriend, historically never talked about sex.
Yeah.
Even into my adulthood, even into living with James, even to being engaged and now being married, like it was not something we were talking about. Like we're just going to ignore the fact that happens in your life. I'm like, but why? Sex is super important to your physical health, mental health, emotional health, humanity.
Like we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I don't know. It was so taboo in the 90s to ever have those discussions, and it just makes me sad for an entire generation of people who feel closeted to just sexuality.
Yeah. And then from the religious aspect of it, okay, now you're married, enjoy it, do like have as much as you want.
Yeah, free for all.
But then like to have that mind shift of like, now it's okay.
Yes.
But I've been told my whole life
it's not dirty anymore. You're doing it in the right way.
Right.
Yeah. But like I mean, people struggle with that because it's like, okay, now this is okay, but it was so
not okay
and,
an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I signed the paper, so.
Yeah. And then now everybody knows. That's what always creeped me out going to weddings growing up, of just like, it was this underlying conversation that everyone was kind of having.
Yeah.
And it grossed me out.
Yeah.
Like the co-op weddings that we went to. Girl. We're talking like young brides.
Yeah.
And
like barely 18.
Icky. Not cute.
I mean, I knew too many people who got married because they wanted to be able to have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
or
I think,
live together.
Yeah. And in the especially Christian culture, like that is normal. Which I was like, no. Like
and
I got married young, but that wasn't why.
Yeah. And it's like honored too. That is the part that creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like you're like, it's almost Mormon-esque where you're put on this pedestal of like, you've achieved this.
Yeah.
Glory be.
Didn't give in to temptation.
Yeah.
So now you're going to be rewarded.
And now your marriage is what? Sweeter than the guy down the street who has a living girlfriend? Like what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why does my private life have anything to do with how good of a person I am?
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I did have one other question that I wrote down.
I will, while you're looking at that, say something that I think both of you probably know this at this point, that even before I was like out, I was secretly dating women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've told me
like
that.
I went on a lot of dates with girls.
Yeah, before you told everybody.
Like when I was deeply a youth leader, all like, but like I would make sure that I was like, I only went on dates in like Gilbert or like in Chandler.
I think that's
like
super.
no dates in Central Phoenix where someone from church might see me with a woman and I can't explain why we're holding hands.
I think that was super normal and healthy for you to do though, because could you imagine if you had come out and not experimented in any way before that, how much of a beginner you would feel?
I mean, I still get so much pushback from other queer people in my current dating life of like that I am less valid because I didn't come out until my late 20s and that I did date men for a long time.
Yeah.
That I mean, I've had to like almost constantly in past like dating situations in the last like year and a half, 2 years, been like validate my queerness to excuse the fact that I dated men.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of things not move past a first date because of that.
Wow.
And it being told in the wording of the letdown of like, I'm just not comfortable with the fact that you've only dated men, or I'm just not comfortable, whatever. Like that's been a lot of the
very
wording.
Like you're too new to the club, so
but I'm like, but then
can't.
how is this still married?
It's that career trope of like, we need you to have 6 years of experience, but you just graduated college, so how would you have gotten that
Yeah.
6 years of experience?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you need at least a 3-tiered
How you hate
roster.
from outside the club, you can't even get in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We could have gotten into it, but we chose not to.
We didn't.
We disassociated for a second instead. As you do. I think that makes me your experience, because we've talked about that a little bit, about the people judging you for your history of gayness. It's why I don't talk about my sexuality ever publicly, because I don't want that judgment. I do consider myself queer, but that's it, because I know that any LGBT person who would hear that and then know that I've never dated or kissed a girl would say, well, then you're not really gay, because you have nothing to prove it, basically.
Yeah.
Which is so like invalidating
So
and
mean.
also by erasure and just like awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't even feel confident in calling myself bi, because I just don't think the bi community would accept me either, because I don't have any experiences, even though I've known that I've liked girls since I was probably like 12.
Yeah.
And I was petrified to ever make that move or even go down that path because of my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared of going to hell, right? Yeah. So I just did not cross that barrier ever, even though I've had crushes for as long as I can remember on not my friends, but like friends of friends or whatever, people that I was going to school with or in relationship with. But
that resonates.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've kissed a few girls in my day.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I love that for you.
Girls are great.
I know they
They smell
are.
nice.
Yeah.
Their lips are really soft.
Yeah. I have never acted on it. And I don't regret that I haven't acted on it. I like that I just know that about myself. That girls are pretty.
Most of my bi friends, not most, but a lot of my bi friends are the same way. Like one of my closest friends is married to a man and has never gotten
acted,
because she hadn't really just explored that part of herself until she was already married.
Yeah.
And they have no desire to
open their marriage,
to be, to explore being poly or anything like that. That's just not for them. And they are very happy in their marriage. And
I also think, okay, that's not for them right now, but it might be for them 10 years from now. Kind of going back to our conversation last time of why do you have to be the same person for the rest of your life? Like, how is your marriage going to be the same marriage for the rest of your life? Like, things might change. Yeah. And I would rather be open to having those conversations and establishing relationship now, knowing that we can have a place that those conversations, a safe place for those conversations to happen.
I was going to say, like, having that person that you go to that knows
your deepest.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Everything about you.
Yeah.
I also deeply believe that sexuality is a spectrum.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I it ebbs and flows all the time.
Yeah. And evolves.
Yeah.
I also love to say the phrase I'm gay, not blind.
Yes.
Because especially with I was watching the Five Nights at Freddy's movies and we were all commenting, because I was watching with friends, and we were all commenting on Josh Hutcherson, and I was like, man, I get it. I want to fix him because he's so broken in this film.
Yeah.
And they're all like, is this your bi awakening? And I'm like, no, I'm gay, not blind.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a sucker for a fixer-upper.
Amen.
Aren't we all? Yeah.
Wasn't Josh Hutcherson part of that lesbian meme a while ago?
Oh,
what were you going to say?
Well, he's in a movie that his mom's
a lesbian.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to go with that route.
You know how there are some men that just kind of look like lesbians? I think he was part of that meme.
I can kind of see that in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Niall Horan.
Or what's the podcast of those two older guys? One has a beard and the long hair, and one has the glasses.
I don't know.
Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
he
yes.
looks like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Rhett and Link.
Rhett.
Rhett and Link.
But also, they both very much give. Okay, Link actually, they just did a whole merch drop for him recently that says,
Yes.
"I love lesbians."
Yes.
And I want the entire line. It's so great.
good.
Or it says like, "I've been known to love lesbians" or something like that, because it
Yes.
was based off a quote he said.
Yeah.
Or I've always loved lesbians, something like that. Anyways, no, I love them. I've watched them since junior high and high school.
Yeah.
Um,
They're good ones.
but they've also like deconstructed.
Yeah.
I
love that they
Rhett
have.
has an entire album about his deconstruction,
Hmm.
and with his band, oh man, what is it? James and the something.
I was gonna say James
Yeah.
and the. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I have it right here. Hold on, please. It is called
James and the. You're gonna say it too, and
No.
I'm.
James and the Shame. But the album is called Human Overboard. And specifically the first song that he came out with it off of it is called Believe Me. And it was all about like kind of like his message back to the church of like,
Hmm.
you may not agree, but like I need you to believe me and I
Hmm.
need you to like hear that this is where I'm at.
Hmm.
And he's been so really beautifully open about his deconstruction, especially on their podcast that they've also had for a long time.
Hmm.
They were one of the first like bigger podcasts that came out from YouTube. Ear Biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're who inspired Grace Helbig to start her first podcast.
Yeah.
Not Too Deep, because she went on their podcast, and because they make you like basically like tell your life story
Mhm.
and get really deep into like hard stuff. And so afterwards she was like, and I'm gonna create the exact opposite where it's all surface level.
Yeah. It went pretty
She-
well for
yeah,
a while.
She did it for a long time, and then now does Not Too, or This Might Get Weird
Yeah, with
with
Mimi.
Mimi. But
Should we talk about goal getters?
did you have anything in your notebook about the subject?
No, I like in our notes you had said differently, so
I
I
did.
prepared differently.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
So the next time we talk about this, I want to talk about our next version of dating, which is you getting closer to finding a hubby and you coming out and dating
Mhm.
while being gay, and then
Mhm.
me being a hofa show in Seattle. I want to save that for the next time we talk about love life.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk about spicier dating stories on Patreon tonight and revisit
I've got
this.
some good ones.
Yeah.
They are worth the $5.
Because I thought that it would be more fun to hear more about your beginnings, Kelly,
Yeah.
because so many people know that you are married to our brother.
Yeah.
There it is. And I want people to be able to connect with all of us from where we started.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like our dating and the purity culture beginnings have a lot of shame
Mhm.
base that people can relate to, especially in our inner circle
yeah.
Mhm.
of our first listeners.
Hello.
Hi. So I failed at Gold Getters real hard. Other than the podcast, I feel like the podcast is going pretty well.
Yeah.
YouTube is doing
I'm
fabulous.
gonna look at Slack to see what my goals were.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Just-
We're increasing followers every single week.
Mhm.
We love it.
Every
We're
day.
increasing views and likes, and we just hit over 12,000 views on YouTube for the first time. So we got a little sticker, a little reward. It's like a reward.
It's like a reward.
And I feel like that's the only thing that's been bringing me joy in the last few weeks is building the podcast and growth and just planning for the holidays in the future and, our
Yeah.
Patreon projects and that kind of stuff and just finding routine still. That's been nice because everything else was crap. It was just all crap. Yeah, I talked about the new weight loss shot that I got approved for in the last episode. So still waiting on that, obviously.
Yeah.
Because this is still pod weekend number 6. And I don't know. I'm glad we went on a walk today and moved our bodies and actually spent some time outside.
It is humid today,
It's
though.
so humid.
Oh, the wind.
All the rain
Oh, the moisture.
spread out the humidity.
Yeah. But it was nice to just get some vitamin D and move. I went and did cardio 2 times this week. So
Wow, good job.
Better than 0.
better than 0. It's progress. I think Kelly and I talked about this last week. We just have this really high.
She was moving her mic and it was making me silly.
It's fine.
So,
I understand. Don't make her silly.
Don't make me silly.
Don't make her silly.
I come off of a really high from being here, and then I go home to just like being alone.
Our faces not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
not feeling like we get to make progress. Every time we're together, we get to make so much progress and build stuff and make stuff together and keep each other updated and show each other that new thing we were talking about. And then when we're away, we all just have to go do like our normal life stuff and put everything, not on pause, but like it goes to the back burner in some sense.
Yeah.
And
we have all this stimulation and then we go to just like being by ourselves again.
alone.
And it's like, okay.
Having our meetings, Kelly and I meet twice a week, sometimes once a week, just depending on our schedules. And that's been really nice to have a touch base of some kind to be like, okay, this is still real, even though we're not together all the time.
Yeah.
But looking towards the near future, the holidays are here. They're upon us.
Yes.
So lots of cozy time, lots of rain, and lots of nice weather. And that means we just like to be outside a little bit more.
Yeah.
And Quimmas. I love Quimmas. It's my favorite time.
We're excited. We're going to go find Christmas jammies.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to go do today?
I think.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say on non-pod weekends,
Yeah.
I struggled to not text Kelly to be like,
What you doing?
you want to hang out?
And Kelly's like, no.
Busy.
Yeah. Because I'm just like sitting at home going like, but I could be hanging out with Kelly.
I know. I feel the same. It's why thinking towards the future and having a share house of some kind seems so viable for us because I'm not sick of it.
And I think we all do this now, but I think we would continue to, like, we know how to give each other space. So it's like, or this afternoon, I'm like, I'm just going to go be by myself for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
we did.
See ya.
Boundaries.
One of my favorite things to do is it's called body doubling, where you, I literally, like, I have a specific friend, my friend Allie. What's up?
Hey.
Where we talk about it the other day. She's like, can you, like, I just need you to be here so that I can get this done.
Yeah.
Or like I went over to her house and we were hanging out and she's had just a really rough week. And our other friend Kate had come up from Tucson and we were just hanging out watching Five Nights at Freddy's. Before that, she was just like, I don't know how to ask this, but I have to, like, can you guys help me clean my kitchen? And we were like, girl, sit down.
Yeah.
Like, I got it.
You got it.
Like, and we did. And we got it done like 20 minutes. But it was just that thing of like, okay, like, I just need you to like be here and I can get this done. But like, even like I have friends where those specific 2 friendships are the type of people were like, okay, I can sit here and be on TikTok, but I like that we're in the same room.
Yeah.
And that's like enough. And it's not brain work.
Yeah.
And
I think if we all lived together, we would be able to do that. Right now,
when we say live together, we mean like a communal kitchen, living room.
Yeah.
Separate living spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still having our zones.
Yeah.
But
I need to not hear y'all all the time.
Yeah. We're talking a tri-level situation. Because here's the thing.
Floors.
With the way that our country is going, for us millennials, we're going to need to buy property as groups at this point.
Yeah.
It's the biggest trend in housing is group housing. And if I just saw this TikTok like 6 months ago, right after I lost my job, and it said, if you don't hate your family in the next 5 years, you need to start thinking about living together because there's just no way that we're going to be able to do this and to have all the things that we want. Like all 3 of us and our attached peoples want a nice thing. We want nice houses. We want a business that we get to all create together. And we kind of like each other and we don't hate each other. One of my friends I was doing a FaceTime call with last week and she was like, how have you guys not killed each other yet? And I said, well, we've gotten close.
few times.
So,
What you have not seen off the pod is us
Having
saying,
good, hard conversations.
could you imagine if we like filmed our hard conversations for Patreon? For Patreon,
I'm so sorry.
Halsey crying
just
in the
making Halsey
corner.
cry in the corner.
I'm a cute.
But I said it's because we are all so much on the same page as to what we think that this could become.
Mhm.
And if you're all crazy together, then it might not be too crazy.
Yeah.
You might actually push it into reality.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this will be.
Mhm.
And I can't wait
We're
for
like,
it.
you want to, let's try it.
Let's
you want
try
to do
it.
that?
Got it. Done.
And
Yeah.
all being on the same page of adamantly doing it healthily.
Yes.
And saying like, nope, we're going to have hard combos.
Frog
We're gonna,
combos.
You know.
Yeah. And I like to, like, even when we're like not together
Mhm.
during the week, like
Mhm.
if we're working on stuff, like we're kind of collaborating, and then one of us will be like, I'm logging off for the night.
Yes. Boundaries.
Yeah. Like
Mhm.
I'm going to just have my evening.
Yeah.
And
I go to
I'll-
bed at 8:30.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And everyone's like, cool.
I really need to remember that you guys are an hour ahead. I did that like 3 times when Scully was like, okay, I'm clocking off. And I looked at my clock and I was like, it's 6:30. Where the f are you going? Bleep that.
Bleep that.
Where-
I was like, how dare you just clock off?
Yeah. You
we
have a
just got
life?
started on our 5 to 9. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then I remember that you're an hour ahead and he's worked a full day. I'm like, okay, back off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like just so for me, for my homework, like
Yeah.
I went to the gym twice and lost once each week.
We went twice.
We went twice. Really glad I'm paying for that membership. But I've also created 4, like, well, one bombed real bad.
I don't think that was us. I think that was the algorithm.
Yeah.
TBH.
Anyways, I've
You know-
created a lot of videos.
Yep.
I've gotten, a lot more practice with some editing stuff, and that's been fun and enjoyable.
And now we're going to start to increase the output.
Yeah.
We had a little touch base. I'm like, okay, what can you handle? And I think you can handle a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't take me that long.
I know. It's really annoying.
I know. We went on a walk and we come back. So I'm done. I was like, already?
Listen,
But
when I already have the cut down clip and I don't have to go searching for it.
yeah. Makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, it takes me 4 hours.
No.
You're going to kill it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I honestly just want you to. I think Scully already pulled the cut downs for episode 9. You should just go
start going.
ham tomorrow.
Sure, going.
Yeah.
What else are your goal getters?
Reading, which I didn't
Because
do
work was
any
a
this
lot.
week because my brain couldn't handle another intake of content.
Yeah. sure.
So I just watched a ton of D&D.
Bleep that.
Bleep that. Sorry.
You guys, we did good. We made it almost through the whole episode.
I
think.
know. I was really
We had
conscious
to
of
go
it.
throw a few in there, spice things up.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
then-
that's good
yeah.
goal getters.
Yeah.
You feel better than the last goal getters, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
For sure.
How about you, Missy Pooh?
I kind of feel like I'm a little bit of the same.
Yeah, we're
little
kind of
plateau.
coasting.
I'm a little plateaued. Family in town made it
Ooh,
a
yeah.
lot harder
Mhm.
too. I was like, I'm
Guests
gonna
always
just
do.
work on this while we do this together. And
Mhm.
so like my reading, I didn't get to read as much as I would have wanted to because
You still got.
Yeah,
really
you
far, 'cause
still-
you were only like 75 pages in.
yeah, I'm at
And
least
you've
100
doubled that.
pages
Yeah.
in the past 2 weeks.
And you found you started hitting the part of the book where it starts picking up
Yeah.
and you're in it now.
Are they making a movie out of this?
Yes.
Mhm.
A show, I think.
It's going to be dark, I think.
Oh, very dark. I
Oh.
think it might be HBO. That might be wrong, but whatever.
It seems a little gruesome,
It is.
but it's good. So yeah, I'm reading more now still,
Mhm.
trying to keep up with it because I also am very bad about finishing books. So
okay.
like I just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um
Persevere.
yeah. My other goals were moving my body, which I didn't really do as
You went
much.
hiking?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
you
went
did.
for a hike.
It looked beautiful too.
It was
Mhm.
beautiful.
good.
You went for a hike and you went for a walk this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You moved.
2 times.
Hey, we each did
Look
two.
at
two,
us.
two.
Look at that.
I had to enroll my benefits, for for my work. Our benefits deadline for next year was
this
yesterday.
last week.
Yeah, it's always in November usually.
And I opt out of mine because I am under Jansen's. It just is easier. Makes more sense. It's better. Cheaper. Yeah, I think I'm like free on him.
Yeah, it should be.
So, or cheaper, but there are some things that my work provides that is just included. Like you can't really, and one of them is like a gym. Did you look behind me?
No.
Hi.
Ghosts.
Okay, see, I think I need to bring the sage. I
found out, I didn't realize that my work pays for like an app membership that is like videos and like workouts and stuff.
Cool.
Kind of like a Peloton thing.
Yeah, I think so. So I downloaded the app. That's as far as I've gotten.
Good job. Hey, that's a step.
Yeah. And then, so I'm going to start doing that because I don't have a current gym membership.
Right.
I just go on Jansen's.
Yeah.
And so we just haven't been.
I honestly think I'm going to cancel mine and just get a walking pad for the house.
Yeah.
Because where I'm at right now, physically, like, that's all I'm really able to do is the treadmill stuff. Like, and like some other weightlift stuff, but I can just do that when you're in town, like, free weights, you know. It's just so expensive, and like it's nice, but I'm just not. I don't know. I think I would rather just have something at home, and that way
you can do stuff with us.
Yeah. Because like I'm having to choose.
Yeah.
It's either edit or go to the gym because after either one, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I feel that.
So
yeah.
Understandable. And you wake up really early too. So you can't really go in before gym unless you're going like 3-4 in the morning.
Absolutely not.
No, thank you.
I did that for
5:30.
a long time.
Yeah.
Gross. No.
It was awful.
We did that for a little bit and I was like, I cannot.
No.
I think slowly we are all becoming night people.
Yeah.
I can't though.
I know.
Like
neither can James.
I'm in this job.
And I start at 6 a.m. So I'm like,
no.
Scully and I are becoming night people.
Yeah. I'm trying to be, but I also you
just
have to wake up
yet.
early, so it's not fair. But
someday we will get to
have
do
our early bedtimes. It's okay.
Yeah. And then someday we'll all get to have slow mornings.
I can't wait.
Go open the flower shop, book shop, coffee shop.
It's gonna be great
on our little family farm. Well, I have my freshman year of college, I was in like a 101 class or whatever, business class, and we had to create a business plan. And I still want to make that business plan a real thing. And that was a bookshop concept with like a teaching aspect with internships with schools to have teachers student teachers come in and do like reading classes for local community kids and get to earn credit for that to be able to like keep cheap labor, you know?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I will pay the teachers lots of money.
Yeah.
I still want to make that happen someday.
Oh, cool.
Who knows? Hey, thanks for hanging out for the Entree episode and giving me your dating dates.
You're welcome.
I have some spicier questions to ask you in Patreon, which is why you should go to patreon.com right now and search for Blood and Contracts and give us
I'm trying to think of like a teaser to be like
$5 a month.
If you want to hear this story.
Patreon.
Just trust us.
Let's see. What can I talk about?
I can't talk about it. I can just tease it.
I did go on a date with a polyamorous couple.
Oh.
Spicy.
Oh, you guys. Recently.
Oh, hers is recent.
So subscribe.
Mine's pre-pandemic.
What's that?
Ooh, fun.
Pre and post.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Mom, don't go on Patreon.
Mom's blocked from Patreon. I love you, Mom.
We love you so much.
That's a boundary we put on all parents. Okay, go comment, like, subscribe on our YouTube. Go comment, share, and save on our TikTok. Go comment, watch, and share and save on Instagram at Blood and Contracts on everything. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. I can't say that word. And Spotify. Spotify.
YouTube.
And we'll see you on the next one. My sister by contract, thanks for joining me.
Anytime.
My sister by blood. I love you.
Oh, welcome.
You're welcome.
I love you.
You're welcome. And that's our relationship, folks. Goodbye.